Hi, I'm Stephen Shomler. I'm the author of Portland Food Cart Stories. This is my book. Very, very excited about it. As you can see, it's a very, very large book. No, actually, that's not my book. That's just a cool thing my publicist sent me. But this book has 40 stories in it, 40 different stories about food carts and people involved in the food cart scene. 30 of those stories are specifically about food carts. And this morning I'm going to take you around and show you two of those food carts to give you a little bit of an idea of what my book is about and the kind of stories that it features. So I invite you to join me on a food cart adventure today as we check out Marasca and the Italian market. As I mentioned, there are the stories of 30 different food carts in Portland Food Cart Stories, and Paolo and Elizabeth own one of those food carts. So welcome, delighted you guys are able to sit down with us. So Paolo, tell me a little bit about what kind of cuisine do you have here at your food cart?
Italian, and precisely Florentine or Tuscan region. That's what I limit my cuisine to.
Excellent. Now I know your menu is seasonal, so it kind of changes up a little bit.
Right.
What's one of the dishes you have on the menu right now?
Well, it's this famous pork loin, Carlton's Farm pork loin that I roast slowly and serve it sliced over my freshly homemade, cut-made schiacciata, which is a flatbread. And if you want to know more about how I make it...
You knew I was going to ask, didn't you?
What's that secret little flavor it's got, huh?
This secret, if we can say secrets, it's not really a secret, but everybody knows it. It's, of course, there is some garlic, there is some rosemary, and there is some fennel pollen in it. And the fennel pollen gives it a nice, actually...
So you make this roasted
flavor.
pork with
Yes.
fennel pollen?
Yes.
That's awesome. So now I know you got some tips about it from a special place. Tell me about that.
Well, special guy and special place. I'm from Florence, but in the country around Florence, there's the Chianti. That's one of the region where this guy, Dario Cecchini, is from. And he gave me the idea.
He's a famous Tuscan butcher, yeah.
He is famous butcher in Florence.
If a butcher can be famous, yeah.
He gave me the idea to use it, and we use it, not only him uses, obviously porchetta is made with fennel pollen, that's another roast piglet, suckling pig roasted pork, and many other dishes, but it's one way of using it. Yes.
And he's the one that gave you those secrets.
That's right.
Awesome,
That's right.
I like that. I mean, I know it's not really a secret, but I'd never heard of using fennel pollen before,
Yeah.
and it's the best pork I've ever had. It is just amazing. So there's another dish that's on, that I love that's not currently on your menu, but that comes and goes, Papa El Pomodoro, right?
That's right.
Did I say it right?
That's correct.
Because
Papa
it kind of sounds like a hairstyle to me, you know.
Yes, papas and peppers and mush, you know, but it's one of the Tuscan soup that makes every hungry little child happy.
So
you know?
what's in? I love it. Tell us what's in it.
Well, it's obviously bread, because Tuscan make a lot of soup out of bread, and one way of reusing it. Fresh tomato, garlic, basil, and extra virgin olive oil, obviously, yes.
And now where do you buy your bread from?
I don't buy it. I buy the flour, I make it.
You make your own bread right there in the food cart.
That's right.
Oh,
That's right.
And I've seen him do it, and the bread is wonderful, and then you use some of that bread in this soup.
That's right.
Tell us the name of your cart.
Burrasca.
Burrasca. He says it so
Burrasca.
much better than I do. It's almost like you. Do I detect a bit of an accent?
A little, yes.
So we'll get to that in just a second. But I just have to say that the name of your cart, where it came from, the connection to the bread soup, all of that. Well, guess what, guys? It's in the book. You want to know that story? Get the book. It's in the book. Back to your accent. So you moved from somewhere else to Portland, Oregon to open a food cart, is that correct?
That's right, yes.
Where in the globe did you move from?
Florence, Italy, yes.
You moved from Florence, Italy to Portland, Oregon to open a food cart.
That's right.
I bet that's an amazing story.
It is a beautiful story. We wanted,
and it's
my
in
wife
the
made
book.
it.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
Elizabeth is a genius.
Gotta wait.
You want that story? You gotta read Portland Food Cart Stories. It's in the book. one last thing. So you moved to the United States last summer,
That's correct.
and you were here, I don't know, 10, 12 days,
Well, that's right. Yes.
and you called me.
That's right.
So my phone rang. I didn't know who it was. I answered it, and I heard someone say, "Hello, it's Paolo." And I was so excited that you were calling, but how did you get my number?
Well, friend of ours, Julianne and Mark, gave me your phone number because they met you months before, and they told you the story about me being in Florence and wanted to open a food cart in Portland.
But as far as my end of that story, how I met those friends of yours and all that, that'll actually be at our next stop. So I can't wait to bring you along there. Elizabeth and Paolo, thank you so much. It's a delight to sit down with you. Thank you so much for letting me tell your story in my book. It was a huge honor, and it's a beautiful story, and I am pulling for you guys all the way.
Thank you,
Stephen. You're great.
So we're here with Erin and Andrew. Their cart, the Italian Market, is one of the carts featured in my book, Portland Food Cart Stories. I'm very excited that you guys are featured in the book. You guys are actually huge heroes of mine and a big inspiration to me in ways that you guys don't even know. There are a couple chapters when I read them in my book, reread them, I cry, and your chapter is one of them. They faced huge struggles in building their food cart, just immense. And one of the stories I thought was cool is we did the interview. You told me there was how many movies?
2.
2 movies that during this really dark period when they moved to Portland before they opened their cart and all the stuff, there was 2 movies in particular they watched that kind of got them through. And of course, if you want to know what those 2 movies are, yep, you got it. It's in the book. So you guys moved from South Philly to here to put it together. One of my favorite stories that didn't actually make the book due to editing is you guys have like this green creature outside your food cart, kind of on the side panel.
Yeah, the Fanatic.
The Fanatic and the Philly Fanatic.
One of the most famous mascots in all of sports.
One of my favorite stories is now they're in Portland, and someone walked up and said, "Is that a kale man?"
Yeah, they don't know about baseball.
They have no clue.
Most people don't recognize it, but
When you get an East Coaster, though, I mean, they come flying down the street. They'll see the Italian Market and our little Ben Franklin on our A-frame, and they peer around the corner and they see the Fanatic, and they're like, "Oh!" Yeah,
somebody
they're so
yesterday said
excited.
they almost crashed their car when they saw our sign out front, our little A-frame sign,
Yeah.
and they ran
They're just
down.
so excited because it's like, oh, they get it.
One of the craziest lines that they say, cheesesteaks are for who?
Tourists.
Tourists. There's no cheesesteaks. The Italian Market, they got food from South Philly, no cheesesteaks, but the food's amazing. I absolutely love all the stuff that you guys do. So you guys originally, before you moved to Portland, you were thinking of moving your cart downtown, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and the struggles and stuff caused that to be a change. And actually, at the beginning of your chapter is a quote from Andrew, what he said that kind of got you in here. Great quote. Excited for you guys to read it. It just kind of conveys everything that you guys are. So at our last stop, when we were visiting with Paolo and Elizabeth, I told you that I would tell you and take you to the place where I first heard about Paolo. Have you guys heard this story?
No.
So I came here, an unfortunate day for you, Andrew. Being a food writer, you have lots of duties, including sometimes having to shave people bald. So I had the responsibility of shaving you bald. You can go to our YouTube channel, Food Cart TV, and see the shaving where you get shaved. And that was exhausting, worked very hard for me. And I was able to come and relax in here with a beer and a Federal, one of my favorite sandwiches of yours. And I'm sitting here visiting, and this gentleman comes up to me and says, "Hey, I have a friend. He's moving from Florence, Italy to Portland, Oregon to open a food cart. Can he call you when he gets here?" And I thought, are you kidding me? I'm eating food from the Italian Market food cart, and some guy wants me to talk to somebody coming from Italy. All right, so that's it. So excited that you guys are in the book, Portland Food Cart Stories.
Us too.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining me on that food cart adventure. I hope you had as much fun as I did. I enjoyed introducing you to Elizabeth and Paolo with Burrasca, and Andrew and Erin with Italian Market. Those are 2 of the food cart stories in my book, Portland Food Cart Stories. I invite you to pick up a copy for yourself and check it out. There's 28 more stories where those came from. The book is available at Powell's, Barnes & Noble, Amazon.com, Books A Million, bookstores near you. The website for the book is portlandfoodcartstories.com. I invite you to go check that out. You can also like us on Facebook, Portland Food Cart Stories on Facebook as well. I hope that my book inspires you to head out on a food cart adventure of your own and meet some of the great people that I wrote about. Take care and have a great day.